What I'm talking to that particular issue in my statement, where I am mentioning that before these documents were moved to, the documents were moved from supply chain management premises, premises to the Tswane Leadership
Mr. Derek, can I just, Mr. Malatji,
okay.
Can I just direct the commissioners to the answer, perhaps?
I've read the statement.
Okay.
I'm asking a different question. Mr. Malatji's evidence is that he never became aware, as I understand him in his discussion with the chairperson, he never became aware that there were irregularities, and I'm wanting you to clarify. Is that your evidence, that you never became aware that there was an issue in this tender process, or there were allegations at least, that documents were removed from the premises of the municipality and taken to some other place, I think it's a college, where the evaluation is supposed to have happened there, or whatever the backstory to it. But that step,
Yes.
of documents being removed from the municipality to another location in the tender process, are you saying you never became aware of that?
No. I wanted to assure the commissioner that there were reasons why these documents, right, why the BEC requested that the documents be moved from supply chain management to Primos. And those reasons were purely...
Primos is the college.
College.
Okay.
Those reasons were based purely on security issues that, as the BEC have observed, right, before we could start with the actual evaluation process. And those security issues were as follows. While seated and expecting supply chain management officials to present us with documents, right? We observed that the facility which was adjacent to the boardroom where we were supposed to conduct, right? The storage facility was accessed without control by city officials, right? And that concerned the BEC, and the chairperson said, colleagues, what are we gonna do with this situation, right? We then had to check exactly what was happening. So there was no access control in and out. Nobody could tell us who was having the key, right? And officials were going in and out, which indicated that there might have been other documents kept in the same storage facility. The cameras were not they were not working.
Yes. So that takes
Yes.
you to the conversation you were having with the chair. Remember when the chair started? And you gave the explanation that you made the suggestion that bids submitted could be done so electronically, that is to avoid tampering and people having access to them. It's exactly this that the chairperson is talking about, that from the evidence we've had, tender documents were received, they were in a room, there are allegations that documents were removed, some documents were missing at some point. What can be done to avoid people having access to tender documents before the process is complete, and your suggestion was electronic. But you confused me when you said, well, as a BC member, I'm not aware that there had been any issues about this tender process, when in fact now you do accept that you did become aware, even as a member of a BC, that there are issues about storage of tender documents, and you were part of the decision or the request that those tender documents be removed from supply chain management to a college. That's all I wanted to clarify with you, because your evidence suggested you never became aware of any issues relating to this tender.
Commissioner, let me put it like this. I never became aware of documents that went missing. Hence, the documents were taken out of this premises down to the college, and when the actual process of evaluation started, right, each document was gone through, and I am not aware of any missing documents that, as the committee, we could see or realize that documents were missing. I never became aware of that. So we did our work. We went through each and every document without any such a report.
Can I just interrupt you there? Is it my misunderstanding of the evidence so far that this tender ended up in court because someone went to court, complained, and rather, in fact, the starting point, and please correct me if I misunderstood the evidence, the municipality cancelled this tender, sought to cancel this tender because of this complaint about documents having been removed and being returned, some documents missing. Then it went to court, and the court directed that this tender must continue. You cannot. There's no basis to cancel it, and the processing or the evaluation of the tender should proceed. Did I misunderstand that part of the evidence, or you're just not aware that that happened?
Commissioner, I would say, I wouldn't say the commissioner is misunderstanding anything, but from where I am sitting, all documents that were taken down got evaluated from the start to the end.
That's not my question, Mr. Malatji. We're not yet at a point where we're asking you to defend anything. We are not there yet. We're still trying to understand the facts as you recall them, right? I've asked you the simple question. Did I misunderstand the evidence that the municipality made a decision to cancel this tender because there were allegations and complaints that documents were removed from SCM, supply chain management, and when they were returned, some documents were missing, right? It was cancelled, and then someone went to court, and the court said there's no basis to cancel this tender, it must proceed to evaluation. Do you know or not know that that happened?
I do not know.
You don't know that anything like that happened?
Exactly.
And you are in supply chain management, and you were the contact person for this tender, according to the documents that we have seen.
Yes, let me correct the word. I am not in supply chain management.
Yes.
I am the director responsible for the function.
Were you not the contact person for this tender? At least I think from documents that we have seen, you were referred to as the person to whom inquiries should be directed.
I agree, even though I do not have a copy of the document with me, that I might have, I was the contact person,
Yes.
but from the context of any bidder, maybe having questions, clarity-seeking questions before the tender close,
Yes.
right? The reason for my being contact person would be to clarify whatever.
Yeah, let me
bidder
stop you.
said.
I'm not asking you to explain
All right.
why you were the contact person.
All right.
You have agreed or confirmed that you were the nominated contact person when the tender went out, right? Your name appeared as the contact person, and that's the evidence we have.
Correct.
Can I finally, so that is done, we agreed on that, you were the contact person. But now let me confirm very clearly. You say you are not aware that this tender went to court because there had been a complaint or an allegation that documents were removed and some documents were missing, and the court ordered that that's not a basis to cancel the tender. It must proceed to evaluation. You say you never became aware of that.
I heard
Okay.
that the tender is in court, but as to reasons why it has been taken to court, I never became aware of those reasons.
Thank you.
What you've just said now is something you said in response to one of my questions earlier. That is, you have no idea as to what the litigation related to. I just want to make this suggestion to you. You were closely involved with the process. Right from the start, literally right from the start. Remember, once a request was made to Mr. Mahlaule to work on the tender specifications, he requested you to assist him. That's the very first stage of the process after a decision has been taken that there should be a tender. So what are the specifications? What exactly do we require? That's the very first step. So you were intimately involved with the process right from the beginning. And that goes further. You then become a member of the bid evaluation committee. You say so yourself in your statement. And that's not the end. As Commissioner Baloyi has just engaged you on, you were the contact person. So all of those indicate how intimately involved with the evaluation. So you are not just a member, you actually get engaged in the evaluation process. And as the BEC or Bid Evaluation Committee, you even prepare a report for the Bid Adjudication Committee. Again, an indication of how closely or how intimately you were involved with the process. Then there's litigation. After it was indicated that the process was being cancelled for the reason that some documents were missing. Of course, you say you are not aware of that issue about documents missing. And then there's litigation. I think it was about 22 or so companies that said, no, this cannot be cancelled. They went to court. And there was then the agreement. And the court made an order in terms of or in accordance with that agreement, which was basically that an award should be made to those 22 or so companies. I find it very, very strange that when you were so intimately, so closely involved with this process right from the start, when there's litigation, of which you say in response to Commissioner Baloyi, you were aware. You do not know what that litigation related to. And we say it actually related to the missing documents. Fine, those who litigated were saying that this cannot be cancelled. But the cancellation itself was as a result of missing documents. That part you just happen not to know. I find that very, very strange. So you are intimately involved from the beginning, throughout the stages, but just before evaluation, and all of a sudden you turn your back and you forget about the whole thing. It simply does not make sense, Mr. Malatji. And I do not even understand why you would want to be defensive on this issue. You did not lose the documents. This is very odd.
Commissioner? Okay. Sorry for...
Yes.
All right. Commissioner, my involvement, as you correctly put it, as the Commissioner correctly put it, right, started when I developed the tender document. I was...
Please don't repeat that process. Okay. Please don't. You are part of the specification process. You are a member of the BEC. You participate in the decision-making of the BEC. You prepare a report for the bid evaluation. Please zoom in there because that's where my problem is. I say I find it strange that you, at that stage, suddenly have no idea as to what happened.
From the bid evaluation committee's report, right, my involvement ended there, right? And from there, my understanding, even though I'm not expert in supply chain management, but from there, once the report is submitted to supply chain management, they would do what they do and take the report up to another committee being the BAC, right? This is the committee wherein I do not participate.
I know you don't participate. You are not a member of the bid adjudication committee.
Yes.
But it's basically your tender.
Correct.
The very fact that you are asked right at the start to prepare the bid specification, it's your bid. It's your bid. You cannot tell me that somewhere through the process you completely lose interest and you are aware that there's litigation. You basically don't care what that litigation is about. That's what I find very odd. It's your bid. Don't you want to see where it ends ultimately? It's your bid.
Commissioner, I must mention here that, yes, it is my bid, but at the level of BAC and what happens, right, going up, I would always expect information or, yes, the city or the department, like they appointed me, when there are issues pertaining to this bid for which I was appointed to serve. Now, in this instance, nothing of that sort happened, right? I had it like any member of the public that this bid was being challenged, but from...
You are not any member of the public, Mr. Malatji.
I agree, Commissioner. Excuse me for the word. I just wanted to emphasize that there was no formal engagement and information that this bid has been taken to court. These are the reasons.
You are the client representative. That's why Mr. Deputy Commissioner Mahlaule, I think, he appoints you. So this is a tender for his department, APSS, and he appoints you to be the representative, to be the person that deals with it, but you are the client. it's very difficult to accept that this tender would run into problems. You don't know anything about it. Apart from the fact that you're a member of the BC, you are the client. It runs into problems, you don't know anything about it. It is taken to court, you don't know about it. It takes forever to finalize. And you're the client, you're the one that's responsible for this service. You're the one with a direct interest to get this tender finalized. And it's not getting finalized, and you say, well, I had it like any other member of the public. I'm prepared to accept when you say member of the public, you mean like any other employee of the TMPD of Tshwane Metro. And it has to be, because you're not a member of the public. But in that capacity as a client, that you don't know because nobody said anything about it, and you don't make inquiries, it's your tender. It's difficult to accept that. Let me speak for myself. I find it very difficult to accept that you remained ignorant of the issues that are delaying your tender when you had a direct interest in this tender being finalized and security companies being appointed. You must have known. You must have asked the questions. Otherwise, something is seriously wrong. If you, as the client representative who has a direct interest in this tender being finalized, you did not ask the basic question. What's happening? Supply chain, what's happening that this tender is not being finalized? There's no way you did not ask that question. I want to put it that high. There's no way you did not ask that question.
Commissioner, let me make the commissioner aware. Within the department, right, there are stages of involvement. This is what is happening practically, even today. Within the department, there are different stages of involvement. At certain, irrespective of whether the issue that they are discussing at top management or EMM of the department, irrespective of whether such an issue is affecting me, right? Therefore, I would expect whoever my superior is brought to terms with the issues that are involving me in my capacity as the employee, to come down and say, Director Malatji, that bit has got the issues. These are the issues. So I'm saying to the commissioner, such a thing never took place. Hence, I agree with the commissioner when the commissioner says it would be very difficult to accept, you understand? And I want to make a point that says, under normal circumstances, but now, when the situation is as it is now, right, it's very difficult. And things are involving you as the director, right? People are taking decisions about those things, and when they're deciding on those things, they don't even have courage to invite you, right? Once they are done, they give instructions, and yours is to make sure that whatever instruction is given, right, you do your best of your ability in order to adhere to that particular instruction. Hence, when it comes to these issues, right, I was never informed.
No, continue.
Okay.
We can multitask.
Thank you. Hence I'm saying when it comes to the court issues, the reasons behind why this tender was litigated, it was never brought to my attention. I had in the corridors, but from the top management who assigned me a duty right from the beginning to take me in confidence and say, Director, come here. Here there is a problem, right? Such a thing never happened. And mind you, when it happens at that, it doesn't only involve my department, right? At the BEC level, there are legal services, there are CFOs and all of that. So from where I operated or from where I'm operating, it would always be very difficult to go and knock, right, on individual, doors to say, hey, what is the problem with this? What is the problem with that? But once you get formally informed or formally involved, you are able to participate, you are able to get yourself familiarized with issues and play your role in order to make input and have them resolved if they are resolved.
May I just say this, and it's meant as advice, Mr. Malatji.
Thank you.
The very first question I asked you, which was in general terms, related to tenders generally, it was not about a specific tender. It was not about your tender, the tender we're talking about now. My sense was that you immediately got defensive. And I had to explain to you that, Mr. Malatji, please do not be defensive. This is not about your tender. I'm asking about tenders generally. And it was only thereafter that you then gave an answer to my question. And I must say to you that the answer was quite useful. Thank you. Now, on the issue that Commissioner Baloyi and I are engaging you on, my distinct sense, and from what Commissioner Baloyi also said, I think that's her sense as well, you are again being defensive. And yet again, you are being defensive on something that, although it relates to impropriety, from where you are sitting, there has been no suggestion, or at least I'm not aware, that the missing documents were as a result of any act of impropriety on your part. Thus far, I'm not aware of such evidence, but you are being defensive. That's my sense. That's Commissioner Baloyi's sense. And even though he has not said anything on the matter, I'm sure that it's also Commissioner Kumalo's sense. Now, here's the advice. Your evidence will flow much more smoothly if you do not get defensive when you do not have to. Your evidence will run much, much more smoothly. I don't know if I don't think that calls for any comment on your part, but if you want to comment, you may.
No, thanks, Commissioner, for making me aware that I'm being defensive. I was not aware that I'm...
You are.
Thank you. Director Malatji, very quickly, I'm only seeking clarity. I'm not probing you. My understanding of the documents is that the reason why the city itself took a decision to cancel this TMPD 2016-2017 tender was because there was an allegation that 50 bids went missing. Did you at any stage become aware of the allegation that 50 bids went missing?
Commissioner, I did not know. I did not become aware of that allegation.
And what were the BEC members told was the reason for the cancellation of this tender?
Commissioner, from where I am sitting, I'm not aware of any information that was given to the BEC members about missing documents. I'm not
asking about missing documents. Okay. At some point, you must have become aware that the tender has not been finalized.
Yes.
So what was the reason given to the members of the BEC for the tender not being finalized?
Commissioner, I'm not aware of any session where the BEC members were informed of the tender not being awarded.
And then you specifically, I mean, let's say you are now in 2020. It's a tender that started in 2016. It's now 2023, 4 years later. And you are aware that nobody has been appointed.
Yes.
And you are the contact person. So all the security companies that submit bids, you are the face of this bid. You are the person they call and ask, how far is the process? Am I still in the running? Am I still not? What did you know about the bid or the process not moving forward? I'm talking now about 2020, because BEC has done its function, like you said. They have evaluated the bids. Now years go by, there's no appointment.
Okay.
What did you learn was the reason for the non-appointment of successful bidders?
Commissioner, can I introduce, before I get to the question specifically?
But I don't want a long story, because
Okay.
I just want you to make me understand what you knew.
All right.
So I don't want you to tell me about other people. If your answer is going to be, I had a rumor, this was the rumor, that's fine. But I just want to know what you knew. Because if you are, let me just stop you. You are a contact person. You are the face of the bid. You sat in the evaluation committee. You prepared a report that went to SCM for SCM to involve BAC. Nothing happens. Did you not inquire what is happening with the bid? How far is the bid? Why has there not been an appointment? Because you are a director of security services. You are the client ultimately.
Commissioner, I hear and I understand, Commissioner. Right? Maybe for me to say, between 2020, it was May 2017 to 2019, right? I was not in that space. They took me out of that space, right? And I must mention that there might have been communication, right, to the effect that the tender is not moving, these are the reasons and the like. But now, since I was taken out of the position for almost 2 years, right, that part I might have missed. I'm not sure, Commissioner.
I think let's leave it there for now.
Thank you.